Hey, Carlsbad. Thanks for joining us on our Carlsbad People, Purpose, and Impact podcast. For the month of July, we're doing something a little bit different. We're actually taking a retroactive look on our top 5 episodes that we've released over these first 2 years of podcasting. Hard to believe it's been 2 years already, but these episodes have been our top producers, so we thought we'd re-release them and share them with you, our audience. And we will be back in August with brand new content, so we hope you enjoy.
Contagious Kindness with Kids for Peace co-founder Jill McManigal. Carlsbad People, Purpose, and Impact. An essential podcast for those who live, work, visit, and play in Carlsbad.
Good morning and welcome everyone to our Carlsbad People, Purpose, and Impact podcast. My name is Bret Schanzenbach and I'm the president and CEO of the Carlsbad Chamber of Commerce, and I am your host today. And I'm very excited and pleased to have with me today Jill McManigal, the co-founder and executive director of Kids for Peace. Jill, good morning.
Good morning, Bret. I am so happy to be here with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking time to join us. We have some super exciting things that we're going to be talking about today. And before we launch into all that, though, I always do a little background research and get to know folks a little bit, maybe things I didn't realize that as I've got to know them professionally. And so I found some fun tidbits.
Oh,
yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah.
I'll verify.
Yeah, exactly.
Or deny.
Yeah, as appropriate, right?
As appropriate.
Well, first of all, I saw that you're a Trojan, a USC grad. I didn't know that.
I am.
That's pretty cool.
My big joke with that is when I first saw everybody doing what I thought were peace fingers, I thought, I'm home. These are my people.
These are my peeps.
I came to learn later that it's V for victory, but yes, in my mind, it's still peace, peace, peace.
Well, see, it still was meaningful for you.
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
That's great. We have a couple of our board members who are fellow Trojans with you, so that's awesome. But what was really fascinating, so you were an elementary school teacher, but the part I love the most is that you've written multiple school musicals.
That is true.
All of my children have been in musical theater their whole life. I would love for you to tell me about some of that experience as doing musical theater.
Yes, I find that performance is such a great way for kids to express themselves and gain their confidence and tell a positive message. So taking my desire to share a positive message with the world, somehow I had that ability and gift to write kids' musicals. And started when I was a substitute teacher. I did some little ones and it kept growing and growing and did a full school productions. And then once my kids were in school, I was a full-time mother, I started doing that for their classes. Awesome. And so it just has grown and kind of do like a Weird Al Yankovic of student musicals. I would take popular songs and change the words for the music part of it. And there were always some kind of really positive, uplifting message with each of the productions.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun. As I mentioned, my kids have been in musical theater for years. And so my kids have done a little bit of sports, too. But most of their extracurricular activities have been in music, choir, theater, those kinds of things in the arts. And myself not having grown up in that, my wife did, but myself not having grown up in that, it's been just a wild ride. And you see, as a parent, I also coach. So I coached my kids in basketball for, I think it was 7 years, something like 14 or 15 different teams over those years. And of course, you think of sports and you think of all there's great attributes in sports, teamwork and sportsmanship and, all those kinds of things. But it's all there in theater too.
Absolutely.
I mean, you have to work together as a team,
That's right.
You have to have a good attitude about your role.
That's right.
Whether you got maybe the role you preferred or not, that those things all come into play. And so, yeah, it's been fun to witness that with my own kids.
Yes. And with theater, there's an opportunity for every child to find their place in it. For those who don't want to be in front of the camera or in front of on the stage, there's so many backstage things. There's the promoting of it. So people who have more of a marketing tendency as an 8-year-old, they can have an opportunity to make the posters. For those kids who are more mathematically inclined, they can help figure out the ticket sales. And there's just there's something for everybody in theater.
That's great. I have to just go back to the fact that you actually wrote a musical. So there's one thing to direct, which I admire, the directors, but you wrote one. That's awesome.
Yes. So my very first one, thinking back now, I'm pretty sure was The Kindergartner of Oz.
Nice.
Yes. So that was when I was student teaching, did Kindergartner of Oz, and just took with Dorothy was trying to get her way out of kindergarten. And so she had to get all the life lessons. And so it lent itself very easily to a really happy kindergarten graduation production. And then people are so impressed with if kids can do anything. They sometimes forget how much kids can do. So when you put a kindergartners on stage and they're actually producing lines and showing their talent, it's a pretty high level of appreciation for kids and such joy that's there. So I go with the easy audience. I could never go beyond, I think, 6th grade.
Yeah. But that's great to expose kids at that age to such wonderful experiences in the arts, because it will carry over in different ways, just in their confidence building and all that kind of stuff. And so offline someday when we're not podcasting, but when we're out having lunch or something, I might have to pick your brain a little more on this particular topic, because I did venture down this road a little bit, and I took a movie that my kids loved growing up called The Toy That Saved Christmas. It's actually a Veggie Tale, if you're familiar with Veggie Tales. And I was converting it into a live musical that we were going to do as a Christmas production at the church. And I got 80% through it. And then a bunch of things happened, and so it got put on the shelf. But I haven't forgotten it. I might go back and finish it. And
nice. So, I can help you. Yeah. I did do... For the church that I was attending, they asked me, they caught wind that I can do children's musicals. And so they asked me to do our Christmas pageant. Nice. And so I did it with the first one with the Beatles theme. Oh, so it was a musical, and with taking all Beatles songs and incorporating that.
Tremendous.
So, yeah.
Love it.
Fun stuff.
Love it. Love it. So you were an elementary school teacher, and then in 2006, you met somebody. I believe she was a high school student named Danielle Graham at a neighborhood party of all places. And that launched something truly phenomenal. And I'd love for you to kind of share with us that whole experience.
Yes. So it was a neighborhood party. I believe it was on Memorial Day weekend. I'm almost positive it was Memorial Day weekend, so it's fitting that we're doing this now.
Yeah.
Gandhi is one of my personal heroes, and I used to wear a Gandhi pin. And I was at this party, mostly an adult party, and Danielle was there as the designated driver for her parents. Yeah. I was able to walk over, and at the end of the party, she came up to me and saw my button. She's like, "I've been noticing you." She goes, "Tell me about the Gandhi button." And so I'm like, well, he was my hero. And we got into this very philosophical conversation about the meaning of life and our purpose, and just like this kismet between us. And next thing we know, we're both saying how we want to create something that will bring more peace into the world. This is post 9/11. So we both were acutely aware and sensitive to the fear that was permeating everything still. And so like we knew that we had to do something together to create peace. And then with Gandhi being my hero, and she knew about this quote, Gandhi's quote says, "If we are to achieve lasting peace, we must begin with the children." So with that quote and with our discussion, we're like, let's do something with kids. And next couple of weekends, we pulled some kids together. I had my own at the time, still do. My kids were, I think, 4 and 7 at the time. Pulled some other neighborhood kids, brought them over. And then Danielle said, let's ask them what they want their world to look like. Let's ask them what they want to do to make it so. And then let's help them make that beautiful into a reality.
Wow. And so was born Kids for Peace.
And so was born Kids for Peace. Yes. From those questions, we created our Peace Pledge, and that Peace Pledge became our guiding force. And it was a really novel idea at the time. So media was interested in it, and we got some really good coverage, and that just helped it to really expand and explode. And some of our activities that we were doing overseas, the kids there were like, this is so cool. We want to do this then in our neighborhood. And so then it jumped over the Pacific Ocean, and we didn't even have a website yet, but then someone said, I can make a website. And then once we went on the internet, it continued to
grow. And then were you an elementary school teacher still at that time?
I was not. So I was fortunate enough when my children were born to be able to become a full-time mother.
Nice.
So I was all in with the mothering thing, avid volunteer. So
Sure.
I was able to take all my teaching abilities, my volunteer abilities. I was the character education specialist when I was teaching and did all the Red Ribbon Week and teacher appreciation. I was like the room mother, all of those things together to kind of bring into the leadership with Kids for Peace.
Yeah, with that kind of a background, I bet you were a teacher's best friend as a mom. I mean, that's great. And so you launched this Kids for Peace, and it starts to take off, and then another incident happens in 2010. We have the Kelly school shooting here in Carlsbad. Mm-hmm. And that was a very transformative experience and seems to be a catalyst for the next phase of Kids for Peace in a way. Why don't you share that?
Well, before, when I heard you say that, I actually hadn't put that together, because sometimes I'm just doing things, I almost feel like I'm a channel for whatever needs to happen.
Right.
So sometimes maybe I don't do all of my, not necessarily due diligence. We do a lot of due diligence, but maybe I'm not aware of all of the outside forces. So the timing of that, I actually had to go back and look. I'm like, oh my gosh, the Kelly shooting did happen right before.
Yeah.
And so that was clearly part of when Kelly jumped on to be part of it, because we launched the Great Kindness Challenge, is what you're referring to.
Yes.
We launched it at Jefferson, Hope, and Kelly Elementary.
Yep.
And in my mind, we had done that because the schools were looking for something proactive to create the environment that was supportive and loving and unifying. Bullying was becoming, there was more awareness about bullying just universally. Carlsbad's really been very proactive in our approach to any issues out there. I think I really honor Carlsbad for seeing something and wanting to get ahead of the game. And so seeing that bullying was becoming a bigger and bigger issue, I talked with the principals at Jefferson and at Hope, which was Dr. Van Voren and Mr. Tubbs. Mm-hmm. And we came up with this idea of doing a checklist for kids, 50 acts of kindness, have a week of kindness that we can focus on, where kids would all actively practice kindness as they're doing kind acts for each other, for their staff, for the neighboring community. So from all of that together, we created the Great Kindness Challenge.
And that would have been, is that 2012 was the first year of that?
That was 2012.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So just kind of right on the heels of that shooting.
That's right.
Bringing in a whole new perspective after that, and starting with the kids, as you pointed out already.
That's right. That's right. Because there's so many layers of focusing on kindness. So there's immediate relationships, and then there's the entire environment that we're creating, a culture that expands beyond the school, expands from the school into the families, or from the families into the school, then out to the communities, out to the entire world of what is happening. So it's sometimes people think that kindness is a soft skill, but we find that kindness is such an essential skill to create this whole society and world that we want to all live in.
Amen to that. So it started pretty humbly. You mentioned 3 schools here in Carlsbad. I think Kelly, Hope, and Jefferson, correct?
That's right.
So 3 schools with this idea and this initiative to do something proactive, to encourage kindness and almost an anti-bullying type thing. And from there, it just caught fire.
That's right.
And so tell us about that.
Yes, as good things do. So when something is good, when it's pure, when the intention is right, I have found that those are the things that really grow and need to go where they need to go. So from those 3 schools, in education, when there's something that's good and that works, teachers are fabulous with sharing with other teachers and educators with other educators.
Sure.
So mostly through word of mouth, because we didn't really have any website presence yet. We didn't do any kind of outreach, but through word of mouth, it grew. Yeah. The next year was 200 and something. I don't have the numbers of the school, the trajectory, but I think it was from about 3 schools to about 260 something schools the next year, and went from our supporting documents, because it's based on this checklist, and then we give them other ideas It was just written up on a one-page Word doc. That was as fancy as I could get, was putting the ideas on a Word doc. And then the next year, it grew to over 1,000 schools. It just,
the evolution was so fast.
It was so fast. And then we brought on, we had a volunteer working with us, Asha Moore, and she came on, was loving what we were doing, and she saw the opportunity to really put some more structure to what we were doing and streamline things, give more systems so that we could really scale up.
Scale it.
Yes, because I didn't have, that was definitely not my skill set there. And so with her leadership, then we got a new website, and then she was able to do automated sign-up systems. Like before, people would sign up and I would send them back an email with a attachment. Yeah. So it was all, and I'd write things down. I didn't even know how to do with spreadsheet. So she definitely bumped up our game a lot. And then as more people were able to access our tools, then it just continued to grow and grow. And then we got some sponsorships that put some more funding behind. And this last year we had 33,000 schools participate, 115 countries, over 17 million kids.
17 million kids in 115 countries.
Yes.
All taking at least one full week to focus on kindness.
That's right.
That's amazing. Yes. The small beginnings to, just incredible fruit. So all that's going on. And you and I just met 2 years ago. I took this position here in Carlsbad, and at the end of my first month, which was a crossover month with the CEO who was exiting. So when that month ended, I think my first or second week where it was just me in this role was the Great Kindness Challenge for 2019. And somewhere I got an email inviting me to come along. And so that was like my welcome to Carlsbad. It was like this, my first real week on the job was coming to the Great Kindness Challenge.
Well, we call it the happiest week of the year. So we were happy to welcome you officially to Carlsbad through the Great Kindness Challenge.
And it was a great welcome. It was fun. I remember it went on some kind of like little shuttle bus. I think it was your fun bus with it's all decorated, right? It's like
yes. Yeah, we have a bus. Every year we try to do something kind of out of the box, something to keep the excitement going for the kids, keeping it fresh and relevant. And the year before we had been on Good Morning America.
Wow.
They had featured us for the entire week, which is almost unheard of.
Wow.
They did a launch event with our kids in studio, and then every day they did a check-in, and then they closed it up with kids in the studio again. And then when that was over, they said, we want something for our viewers. What can we do? Because this is great for the schools, but a lot of our viewers aren't in school or don't have kids. And so they said, what can we do? And so then for the next year, we said, okay, let's launch a family edition.
Wow.
And to launch the family edition, and schools had also been asking for that. Then we bought a bus.
I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the sponsor of today's podcast, Tri-City Medical Center, our very own around-the-corner, state-of-the-art hospital, serving the communities of Oceanside, Carlsbad, and Vista. 60 years of the very best in cardiac, stroke, orthopedic, primary, and emergency care. Featuring the best doctors, the best nurses, and the best support staff, they have provided incredible care for our community, day in and day out for decades. That's a lot to celebrate. To find out more, go to tricitymed.org and see for yourself who they are and what they can do for you and your family. That's tricitymed.org.
We thought, this is Asha's idea also. She was like, let's go on a cross-country tour and let's buy a bus and decorate it and go from coast to coast. Wow. Launching our family edition. And so we're like, okay, let's buy a bus. I found one on eBay. We got it very magically. All the right people showed up to paint it and fix it and redesign the inside. And then Good Morning America is like, we have to have this in Times Square.
Wow.
We want to launch. So we shipped the bus. We weren't even sure if it could make it all the way. We shipped the bus put it on the back of some big truck. It drove there. We all flew. And then we launched the family edition with our bus in Times Square and then drove it all the way back, stopping along the way, doing the acts of kindness. So that was our happy bus that you got to.
Yes, I got to ride on the happy bus.
Yes.
I didn't know its whole history at that point. Or maybe I think there was a map inside that kind of showed some of that from the past or something, or maybe it was going to be the future. But that was
the past. Yeah, that was our tour. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I remember the happy bus, and of course, just locally, we probably had about 3 or 4 stops. But it was really, for me, in my first week, it was a great welcome. And I think that's a great segue to now. I mean, you talked about you had the school edition, and then people were clamoring for a family edition, which you guys came up with. And now let's fast forward to 2021. Now we're talking corporate edition.
We are.
You guys approached us at the Carlsbad Chamber just a couple months back and said, we think corporate America is ready for some kindness. Why don't you tell us about that initiative?
Yes. Well, through the Great Kindness Challenge, we get to invite the community in, which is a really beautiful part for everybody. It's very uplifting for community members, our elected officials. Mayor Hall has been such a supporter from the very beginning. I'm so grateful for that. Several of our city council members and school board members. And so having the opportunity to really see the kids in action and for the kids to see that our elected officials value kindness. And then we started inviting more businesses to also come in and really unify our community. And as we saw the impact that could have, we thought, let's take this to the next level and let's get the corporate world, the businesses, to also do the acts of kindness.
Yeah.
Let's all practice it, because as we're intentional with anything we do, the more we do what we focus on, the more it grows. So as we're all focusing on kindness, the more kindness grows. And I can't remember all the statistics and all, but we did some studying about even the benefits for businesses that are showing that they value kindness, the values just within their own personnel, what it can do for the morale of the team, better morale. I mean, you could speak to all this part, but better morale is better outputs. And then for the marketing, for what it can do for people's perception of the business out to the world. So people want to support businesses that are good to their people and that are doing good in the world. So, and there's a lot more awareness about that now, which is, anybody listening to this already knows that part. But putting that together, we thought for kids to see that this is appreciated in the corporate world, for kids to see that they're not alone in this, that we're all in this together. From our perspective, it was going to be very beneficial to have the businesses there. Yeah. And just in terms of the benefit for our entire community, knowing that we're all in this together, it was going to lift everybody up. Yeah. And after COVID, we need to do whatever we can to lift everybody up. It's been such a hard time.
It has. Yeah. And even beyond COVID, I mean, 2020 was a year of a lot of social unrest. Yes. And so when you guys approached us, it was like, yes, this absolutely resonates with us and our values here at the Carlsbad Chamber of Commerce, and trying to bring an intentional focus of kindness into the workplace and into society. Yes. We felt, yes, the timing is perfect for this. And you guys have already done so much in your other arenas, education primarily, that we felt we really would love to partner with you in trying to bring this to corporate America. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of value to companies by self-certifying and joining this program and becoming a kindness certified company. When we talked, one of the things we chatted about, I think it's going to attract talent to companies. Yes. One of the things that employees value the most is how are they treated and respected in their role at a company. And so if you have a kindness certified company that's doing its best, and going out of its way to treat its people in that sense, people are going to want to work there.
That's right.
Yes, people want to go where they can get sometimes the biggest bang for their buck, so to speak, like where can I get the biggest salary or whatever. But once you've jumped ship a couple of times for that reason, eventually you start to realize it's not just about the dollar. It's your experience at that workplace is much more than just the paycheck. Now, people want to get paid well.
Absolutely.
No doubt. But how they're treated is a big deal. So I think that will play very well for companies. And why don't you talk about the 3 things that people commit to be a kindness certified company?
Yes, and the kindness certified company, which I didn't mention with our schools, is we have kindness certified schools. So once a school participates in the Great Kindness Challenge, they become a kindness certified school. A school district that promotes the Great Kindness Challenge and embraces the Great Kindness Challenge, they become a kindness certified school district.
Nice.
So we took the kindness certified aspect of the Great Kindness Challenge and expanded it to kindness certified companies.
Nice.
So that's how we made that jump there. So for a company to become kindness certified, they have to agree to a set of values.
Yep.
And then there's a certain requirement. So they're agreeing to be good to their people and certain promotion of the values where they're good to their people. They agree to support our community. And in supporting our community, they agree to do at least one community service project and to
Per year,
at least one per year. And part of our program is we're going to be providing lots of opportunities for companies. So for companies who've been wanting to engage more in the community, but not knowing how to really jump into that, we're going to have a whole platform for that where they'll be able to see what is a meaningful volunteer opportunity, as well as one unified service project every year. So we'll be giving the companies that opportunity if they're not already doing that. They will be making one donation to any nonprofit that's serving Carlsbad or the area around. And most companies are already supporting something, but it's whatever is meaningful to them, whatever, and it could be for animals or for elders or the environment, whatever they care about. So making a meaningful donation. Then our third thing is they are good to the environment.
Yes.
Caring for the environment. And early on with Kids for Peace, when we created the Peace Pledge, the kids insisted that we put the caring for the environment into the Peace Pledge. That was absolutely crucial to them because they said we can't. I pushed back in my adult mind. I'm like, well, that's someone else's issue. That's not peace.
Right.
And they're like looking at me dumbfounded, like, Miss Jill, we won't even have a world to take care of. To have any peace to build upon if we don't take care of our environment.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. So taking care of the environment is the third. And then the fourth is just pledging to do their part to create a better world.
Right. Tremendous. So be good to your people, be good to the environment, be good to your community, and making a pledge to do your part. And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that there is a fee to be certified. And for that fee, both Kids for Peace and the Chamber are trying to provide value to these companies that sign up and do this and pay their fee. And from the Chamber part, we're using the Kindness Certified seal on their listing on our website. So all of our members are in our business directory, which is online and gets thousands of hits every month. And so any company who's kindness certified will have that seal on their listing. And then also in our printed business directory, we're adding a little icon there to show that they're kindness certified. And then on our kindness page, which you have and we have both of us have on our websites, their logo will be featured there on a slider, so that with a link back to their website. So we're giving them extra exposure for taking these steps and committing and signing up to do these things. So I'm super excited about this. Coming off of so many challenges of 2020, I think it's the perfect thing to do to bring in 2021, and let's all go get focused on the right things.
Yes, I love all of that. You've been such an extraordinary, exceptional partner. You really have gone above and beyond what we had hoped for, and when we really usually hope really high. And you've anything we've asked, you've said yes to, and then you've come up with your own really wonderful ways to give exposure to the companies who are valuing this. And besides the outcomes that you give us, just the way that you interact with us, the respect that you show us, the kindness, the teamwork that we have, it's been so exciting to have this partnership. And I feel like we're an example of how we can all work together. So I'm just so thankful to you, Bret, your entire team. They're fabulous to work with. And we are really excited. And we welcome every Carlsbad company, every company that serves Carlsbad, to be part of our pilot. We are piloting it here in Carlsbad, and then we'll take it nationwide. But we invite everybody to join us in this this opportunity, this momentum of being leaders in kindness.
Yes, and I want to circle back to that point in just a second, but thank you for your kind words. That I appreciate that, because I think we do have a great team here. And, when you guys brought this forward to us, it just resonated. Mm-hmm. It just resonated with me at my, soul level. And because the thing about kindness is it doesn't cost anything. Mm-hmm. You don't have to sacrifice anything to be kind to other people. But yet a little ounce of kindness the ripple effects can be so far beyond what any of us might know in this lifetime, to be honest.
Yes.
And they can be done in all facets of our life, our interactions at a grocery store, the way we drive our car on the freeway, any place, interacting with strangers, interacting with family, interacting with extended family. I mean, interacting with coworkers, with people who teach our kids or whatever, we can all intentionally be kind and take those steps, and our world's going to be a better place.
Absolutely. And no matter what our political affiliation is, our spiritual religious affiliation is, whatever our socioeconomic status is, kindness is the only thing I've found that we can all agree on.
Yes.
That it's a unifying force, and it gives us a starting place to be better as a society.
And obviously we're not going to go into a whole political thing here, but I think just in saying that, I think one of the things our society is struggling with is the ability to just disagree kindly.
Yes.
We can have dialogue and conversation without it going to another level. And I think our world would be a much better place. Our country would be much better off if we could disagree respectfully and with dignity and, do that. So you mentioned that this is a pilot program.
Yes.
And I think that was another aspect that was very exciting to me, is that you guys have had so much success. I know it's been a bit organic, and then now it's, I don't know, maybe you couldn't even stop it if you tried at this point in the education world, but it's gone so big and it's gone worldwide, and we're excited to be part of the pilot, but we're excited to help you, and we want to be part of that, taking this, the whole country, the world, wherever it can possibly go.
It's very exciting. And I'm so grateful for Carlsbad, because Carlsbad really, I've been calling Carlsbad the kindness capital of the world. We really do embrace these big ideas, and so much big stuff happens in Carlsbad. There's so much innovation here, and knowing that we can be the innovation of kindness here it's really exciting. And we do want to get it right. We try everything out that we do in Kids for Peace here in Carlsbad, because this is the home. This is the birthplace where we so love and appreciate Carlsbad. And so we will get all of our ducks in a row and try everything out in Carlsbad, and really get that force and that energy together here in Carlsbad. And then we are taking it out and about. We will take it nationwide, taking it worldwide, so that adults have the opportunity to really be part of this kindness movement. And
as you know, some of my chamber colleagues from neighboring chambers are already chomping at the bit to get this, and I'm excited. I mean, it's going to be an easy sell when we are ready to do that. And for any of my chamber colleagues listening right now, thank you for listening. And we're coming to you. We're just figuring out some of the nuances of scaling to multiple communities in this arena. They've done it really well in the educational arena. We're figuring out how we can scale it into the business arena as well. So I'm so looking forward to that. I love being ground zero for this movement, and that's meaningful to me. But what I'm really excited to see where it can go from here. And so that's coming soon to your listening audience, wherever you are. That's right. That's right. And I have a vision in Carlsbad of every storefront in Carlsbad to have a kindness certified seal, kindness certified company window decal there. Yes. I know that Handles is one of our initial adopters of it, Handles ice cream, and seeing the decal that we provide to everyone who becomes kindness certified. But
in the village, in the malls, I see this decal there. So everyone knows that it's a kindness certified company. And it's just going to be such a beautiful vision when that happens. So if you go, anybody who is going to be at having dinner at a restaurant or shopping at a store or going to their accountant, if they don't see that kind of certified seal, we invite you to ask the company if they've heard about it and invite them to become kindness certified.
Absolutely.
Let's all do it together.
Absolutely. We can make a groundswell of kindness initiative. And I love that with the people, requesting it. We should probably give a little shout out. I mean, the program, I think with what today is when we're sitting here recording this, I think we're about a month in since that soft opening at the Green Business Expo. And off the top of my head, I think about 20, 25 companies have already signed up. Is that sound
That's right? Yep. I think it's about 25 now.
Which is fantastic. We've had real estate companies, financial planners, retail manufacturers here in town. I mean, there's no limit. It's open to any company who wants to participate. And we should tell them how they can sign up. They can go to your website or mine. Mine just leads back to yours, honestly. I'm just in full disclosure.
Because we are one. We are now fully connected now, Bret.
That's right. Yes. On our website, it's carlsbad.org. And then on the top menu system, you'll see kindness. And you just click there, and that'll take you away. Or you can go for the Kids for Peace website, which is?
The kidsforpeaceglobal.org/kindness certified company.
There you go.
Yes.
So we welcome anybody listening. If you work with a company or are part of a team, encourage your team to go there and get certified, or reach out to us and we can work with you to help set that up. Carlsbad is getting a new company in 2022 that will be handling all the waste management stuff here in the community. And their name's called Republic. And just this week, they signed up to be kindness certified. That was really cool.
It was. Yeah, I love how the range of companies are so vast, from our biggest company in Carlsbad, Viasat, to the single accountant, everything in between. So there's a room for everybody. Bitchin' Sauce is one of the original adopters, as I said, handles, I think, coming back to the ice cream. And might be getting hungry right now. But it's for everybody, no matter what size the company is, we welcome everyone to join us.
And everybody can make an intentional act of kindness this very day and make our world a better place.
Yes, sirree. Because kindness matters.
Because kindness matters. And kindness matters in Carlsbad. Yes. And we would love to have everybody join us. Jill, I want to thank you for taking the time to come and chat about this initiative and be part of our podcast. And thank you for all that you do.
Thank you for all you do. This is wonderful.
Signing off. We will see you next time on the Carlsbad People, Purpose, and Impact podcast. Thanks for joining us on our Carlsbad People, Purpose, and Impact podcast today. If you enjoyed it, please hit the follow button on wherever you get your audio. And please tell a friend. We would love to hear your feedback, which you can share at carlsbadpodcast.com. You can leave us a review, ask a question, or leave an audio comment, which we can play on the show in the future. And that's all we have for today. Can't wait to see you next time on Carlsbad People, Purpose, and Impact. And remember, share some kindness today. It's free, creates goodwill, and makes you feel great.